Hello.
Hello.
Here we are today to make a small video about Lars's reaction. It is exactly 1 year ago that he has helped to plant 50,000 trees
Yes.
with a group of 20 marvelous people. We did that in 5 days. And it's the first time he's back to come and see them and how they grew. And so we're
very excited.
we are also very excited. But we're going to make this video to see what his impressions are.
Yeah.
So here we go.
Here
we are walking
go.
up to the field.
Slowly getting closer to the baby who has birthday and nobody brought a cake.
We can make a seed cake.
Okay, that's good.
A seed cake to plant.
I really even thought of bringing apple seeds because my Johnny Appleseed action was not so successful, and here we are already. And I love it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh,
this is where it starts. This is where it starts.
This is not acting. This is true goosebumps. This you cannot act. This is impossible. It's so great. Wow. Wow. My God. Wow, the growth is unbelievable. And I guess the eucalyptus is after the rain?
Yes, they fell over with the wind. But you will already see further on what I'm doing to solve this now.
Yes. What I do is I cut them.
Yes.
It's very easy. They come back. I had that after the rain. I just pollard them.
Yeah.
And then it's all good.
I will show you what I'm doing already now.
Now I have a question. Why did you
mobilize?
Plow in between?
Yeah. So last year, I believe you were still there on the last day of the planting event.
Yeah.
There was a subsoiler that passed the in-between lines, and we seeded with cover crops. And we never had the tool that was able to pass afterwards again, that left the soil really flat and nice.
Right.
And you can see in some places where I haven't done this work now again, that the soil is still very uneven.
I understand.
And so I did it now again, and I seeded a new cover crop last week. It already got some rain. Now it's looking a bit dry, but tomorrow's going to rain more. And you can already see some of it sprouting.
Oh my God. You know Artemisia arborescens?
I have a lot there in the nursery.
The arborescens?
No, this one not. I have Artemisia absinthium.
Yeah, arborescens is fantastic. I give you something.
Okay. You have seeds or cuttings?
I have a little seedling, but it's so easy to propagate them by
cuttings.
By cuttings. Hundreds. I do hundreds, and they are really very drought resistant. Yeah. So for in between, I
will show you what I'm planning to do now.
All right.
You can see in some cases.
Wow. And here the sheep. My God, it's real.
Yeah, we put sheep wool in all the fruit trees.
Look again. Goosebumps. It's really beautiful. God. It's amazing. And this one is a castagna.
This is an almond tree.
It's an almond. Oh my God.
Yeah,
this you need to cut out. I don't like to be wrong on the video. No.
Yeah. There's other ones that have grown much more. This one is here kind of on the edge.
These are the ones you brought in later, right?
Yes. In January, I planted the fruit trees. In this first part, it has almonds. Then there's 100 almond trees. Then there's 100 plum trees and 100 apricot trees.
All right.
So it's a total of 300 fruit trees.
Wow, beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And then here in some parts it has the vegetables in between. Here we now finished harvesting the corn and pumpkins. And I'm going to put potatoes into here again.
Is it okay that I grab a little bit in order to see what is
go
under here? All right. Oh, so what is that? Is this wood chips?
So this is a soil that from the local firewood producers.
All right.
they always, when they, imagine they pile up a big mountain of wood,
Yeah.
of firewood, and then when they take it away,
Exactly.
there's like all this amazing soil underneath, and then they scrape it together and they deliver to me.
We have
And-
exactly the same.
Nice.
So it feels like home.
The camera for this.
All right. Let's go
Daniel
on.
also joined us by now.
yeah. Yeah.
He was
now-
also one of the collaborators during this planting, but also
Exactly.
furthermore during the management and maintenance of all this. So
Yeah.
he has a more he's maybe less impressed of the impression now
because he knows.
because he's been seeing it more
But
recently.
he was the guy at 5 o'clock in the morning who
Distributing
was also
trees.
there, and he said, "What are you doing here?" I think the same as what you're doing. We're planting, right?
So
Wow. Os tomates.
yes, these are the tomatoes. And here, look, this is what happens when you start to add a bit extra water. This grape is grown like 3 meters. And the almond tree here, he's not receiving the extra water, but in this row there's an amazing one.
Wow. And this is already a grafted one.
Yes, I bought grafted trees.
All right. Wow, great.
And so my idea, this might also be interesting to you, Lars, is that now in winter I'm going to take out the irrigation system that's here, that is
Yes.
irrigating the whole line, all the
Yes.
forestry trees and everything. And I'm going to divide that. I'm going to put a pipe in that's not having drippers, and then only put the drippers on the fruit trees to concentrate all the water on the fruit trees and not stop to give the water to all the other forestry trees.
All right. You have an individual dripper on any fruit trees.
Exactly.
All right.
Because yeah, with limited water resources, I really believe it makes more sense to focus the water
Yes.
where it's.
How is you? What is the difference in the well you have because of this plantation? Because I imagine it gives also quite a feedback to the well, no?
Of course, the water spring, I believe, like only by the fact of having mobilized the soil, so loosening it and planting, like the good cover crop, it already was able to infiltrate much more water. But now with the established tree roots, it's of course like the infiltration is much higher.
Yeah.
Like it's really easy to see when I have fruit trees down there, or just any trees there on the agroforestry that's already older. If I take a water pipe, like even really a thick one, like a 1.5-inch water pipe, and I turn it on and I throw all that water on the fruit tree, the water's like immediately going down into the soil and disappearing. And
Wow.
if I would put it anywhere here on the road, all the water's just running away.
Running off. Yeah.
And so like this can take like a huge downpour and there's not going to be a single bit of runoff. And it's not having a key line or a swale.
No.
It's just
no.
plants doing that.
No, thank God.
Something I didn't learn during the studies of 3 years.
Yeah, in
Like,
university.
We had the discussion about the first workshop.
Yeah.
And then in 10 minutes I understood, okay, it's not about all the structures, it's about the plants that, the roots that make the whole soil livable.
That's what I always say is the roots of the trees, they make the real earthwork. Everything else is just a little bit fancy for designers. I'm sorry, but this is perhaps a little bit too much. But yeah, wow, look at this. This is beautiful. But this is now planted like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly. We have here lettuce, cabbage, and beetroots and onions in this row.
Beautiful.
And that's coming back.
They're coming back.
And you took also just the wood chips and...
It's the same preparation as there.
It's the same.
And then I passed a broad fork. I added some pigeon manure and I
right.
worked that into the soil
Yeah.
because that's quite carbon rich. And so I wanted to add the pigeon manure and I really believe that this paid off. That's why the lettuce and the cabbage is now so beautiful.
What was interesting, what I figured in one plot we did is we took on purpose just wood chips without any manure. And you know what? They had no lack of nitrogen. Because I think that the soil food network kind
was
of
already established in
was
your plot.
already established, and when the protozoa ate the bacteria, the exudates or the excretion of those guys, they are feeding already the soil enough. The tomatoes had no lack of nitrogen. So
Nice.
yeah.
Amazing. And here you can see this is where I started already pruning the trees. From here
Right.
you have all the Tagasastas already pruned. And this was done at the same time as when I was doing the vegetable planting about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and you already see them growing again.
Yeah. Here you see the new growth clearly.
Exactly.
Yeah, with the water
Clearly.
temperature, everything proliferates.
Exactly. Now is amazing time to do all this.
Wow, cool.
And you see the eucalyptus, now I'm pruning them really low because for one, so they don't fall over in the wind, as we were saying before.
Yes.
But then also like this, I'm already creating a bit, I believe I'm going to keep them lower in this field than in the other ones.
Yes. Yeah.
And I also, in the past, what I would always do is imagine now I have here this branch, and instead of cutting it again here so that it's resprouting only from here, I left like this because I know he's going to continue growing here, but he's also going to make new sprouts from the center.
Okay.
And so I decided to do like this because I believe it's less stressful for the tree.
Okay.
But it's something that now I'm going to learn, observe.
To observe.
I also did this technique the last couple of 2 weeks. And I was also thinking, if you leave it here, doesn't it focus the energy here? Or does it also sprout through the whole branch?
I have some trees that were naturally pruning themselves like this by the wind. And they were sprouting from the center as well.
Okay.
But we're going to have to learn and observe.
Yeah, exactly.
And so yeah, here just continues. Here we're already in the plum section, by the way.
Wow, all right.
But yeah, it's looking, I believe it's looking quite nice.
It's really beautiful. And what would you say, this part, is this the biggest growth compared with the other parts?
For sure, this is the field that is developed the fastest. In the very first field that I did, I remember the fastest growing Tagasasta tree that I had in this time of the year was 1.5 meters tall. Was I getting to my chest? Here in this field, they are 3 meters tall and having stem. And I already pruned them in February. I already pruned them once in February. And so they already really, they grew like 3 times as much. They like some of these Tagasasa already have stems of like 4 or 5 centimeters.
It's amazing.
And I really believe it has to do with the fact that we, like this time of the year is just so special, and we really managed to do it in this time, which is sometimes challenging because it's dry and you can't work the soil. But with the machines it was possible, and then...
But was not, or and was towards that, was it not also like that, that the density was really exceptional here?
No, the density, I believe there's even been more plants in other fields that I put together.
Okay.
But what I also really like here is the separation of the really fast growing mother trees and the rest of the trees. Like you can see clearly here now the center line with the trees, the long living trees, and then the Tagasasto, Eucalyptus and Butleas.
Exactly.
They're there on the edge, which is making it really easy to prune now.
And here you did the brooms, right? Wasn't here the broom line going on?
Basically none of them survived. I believe that they were really root bound when we planted them.
All right.
And what you might remember is the irrigation line, after we planted the Tagasastas and the Eucalyptus, we moved it over and we irrigated it once.
Exactly.
And with the brooms, we never did that. And I believe that's even because there's so much organic material, that even though it rained, it wasn't enough for them to survive.
Yeah.
Because it didn't get into the organic material and into the soil.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing. The growth is amazing. And what I really love is this thought of making 3 lines. To have here a line on the kind of on the wind-facing side, and here here comes or from where?
The wind is coming exactly from there,
Ah, it's
so
from here.
the fast-growing trees are protecting from the wind.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and here the broom. I think this was exceptional. I thought it's an exceptional, and I
No.
think also really this is something you did new here, to bring these fast-growing kind of soil-building trees a little bit outside of the.
No.
That's. I think that was really.
What my idea
cool.
is now, we can see an example of that somewhere if I can find it. Let's go
Yes.
back there to the strawberries. Because my idea is now to put the absinthe plants, the Artemisia absinthium, on the southern side of the bed.
All right.
I have a lot of them already prepared in the
Alright.
nursery. But there was a bee on my glasses.
And then the kale, was that planted at that time?
Yes,
or-
yes, we planted
was-
all of that in that
alright.
week.
And this was
So
this
this
is
is also a type of vegetable row, but for berries and table grapes.
And-
Leave that there so you can make roots. I'm gonna then take them out and plant them.
yeah,
But
sure.
so here the idea was I wanted to have a line with thornless blackberries to have berries,
Yes.
and I wanted to stop having the fences with the wires. So I planted again fast-growing trees, poplars, elm, ash, and Celtis australis.
Yeah.
As seedlings into this row to in the future be the support of the blackberries, and I'm gonna pollard them at a height of 1.5 or 2 meters and then prune them into having like a bit of a support shape, and I can lay the blackberries on there.
All right.
And then additionally to that, I then thought, okay, well, this makes no sense not to put. I put table grapes.
All right. Yeah,
So
sure.
it has the table grapes, the blackberries, and then the trees. And now during summer I had cucumbers and corn additionally,
Okay.
which is now already harvested. But yeah, it's now I want to put garlic into there since we harvested the corn,
Yeah.
and it's having a lot of organic material.
The corn was growing like where now?
The corn was growing on the northern side.
Here.
Exactly, like you can still see here
Ah, right. Yeah, the
the
stump.
peas, and on the other side we had the cucumbers, and in the center the
And
trees.
here you will do then the
The garlic. Yeah, more on the sides, not really on the center of the line.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
And
Wow.
here you can see again the trees without the pruning, like there are eucalyptus tree already like
My
2.5
God.
meters.
My God.
And the Tagazaste are also just huge.
I have also a brother from you.
Yeah?
I got some from you. One is also that size, but just one. You know what's interesting? I have the feeling I have a much more irregular growth rate than you have. Your growth rate is quite similar. And mine, some explode and some are,
No.
what is going on?
I had that a lot in the beginning as well, honestly
Alright.
speaking. Daniel, he's already smiling because he sees here part of his creation.
That's you, Daniel.
I did something with
That's so great. That's so great. Oh,
You
I
helped me
love
to
it.
plant this, no? I made the soil by myself, and then you came to help me to put the seeds in.
They're almost ready.
Yeah, yeah.
Almost.
No, but there's hundreds of them.
Do you take the seeds of those guys?
Usually not, because I have other cucurbitaceae growing close, and then I'm afraid of cross-pollination. Like here I had the cucumbers just 10 meters away. I don't know if they cross-pollinate with the
No.
pumpkins.
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, because the thing is really, the more you have the seeds, the more they adapt to your
Of
place.
course.
And
What?
yeah, you did it during the event, I remember.
Yes, now we're getting into the last part of the field.
It's really amazing. You know, I really love, this is of course all the plant material which was growing here, right?
I didn't buy or import any straw for this field. There's everything from here.
Did you water now, meanwhile?
Recently, no.
Well, it's
Like
just,
maybe a week ago.
it's just crazy humid still, right?
From the rain, yes, of
From
course.
the rain. Wow.
It rained 2 days ago or 3 days ago.
How
But
many?
yeah, here you can see already eucalyptus tree, 1 year old now,
1 year old.
and the tagazaste as well.
They are so great.
And as I was telling you, the apricot trees, they're also doing fantastic.
They are doing, yeah.
Strawberry patch.
I love it. I love it how you did it. It's really great.
No, for this field, I really wanted to keep the vegetables separated from the trees.
Yes.
Like
yes.
I had the placenta crops, the cabbages and the radishes and some
Yes.
lettuce in the beginning with the trees.
Yes.
But then after now, so I can continue cultivating again and again, I believe it makes much more sense to have
It makes more sense. I do exactly the same with strawberry. It makes so much sense to do them in between. And I do exactly the same. Like what I want to do, you have 3 meters, right?
5.
5. Okay,
In
I
this
mean,
part here, it might be a bit less. There's some places where it's a bit less, but in general, the whole field should be with a distance from center to center 5 meters.
5 meters.
Yeah, here it doesn't seem to be.
Okay, it doesn't seem to be, and of course also the plant from, I mean, this eucalyptus border.
Yeah.
It's also narrowing. But what I wanted to do is also 1 line asparagus and 1 line
Strawberries.
Strawberries. Thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. Wow. Tomatoes.
Here's now the artemisia I was telling you that's growing here on the border. And I believe that this would be a really nice solution for the southern side of the beds, is having...
Those artemisias.
Exactly.
Try really also to propagate the Artemisia arborescens. And it's so easy. Once you have a bush like that, you just make stackas 10 centimeters. Do it in the soil directly. In October they grow. And here, this is already the wine next to the vine.
Yes, so I
next to
didn't
the
tell you
bottle?
this, but so you have the fruit trees that are 5 meters apart.
Yeah.
And then you might remember we put a mulberry
Exactly.
halfway. And all the artemisias and sage, they're all by seed. It's from the seed mix that we put.
Wow.
So they weren't planted as a plant.
Yeah.
But that's also why they are sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Yeah.
But then halfway between the mulberry and the fruit tree, a bit closer to the mulberry always, you have on each side 1 grapevine.
That is
So you will have the
amazing.
fruit tree, and then in the center the mulberry, and then the grapevine finding its way around.
And the grapevine came also from the seed package, or was it?
No, these were planted as grafted plants.
All right.
So the fruit trees and the vines and this kind of stuff, the mulberries, no, they were like wild seedlings that I got from the tree nursery.
Yeah.
But the grapes and the mulberries, I probably will graft.
Yes.
I need to see. But I bought like 5 or 6 really nice varieties that I have in another agroforest now.
Yeah.
That are growing really good. And probably I will graft these ones with those.
Oh, cool.
And what is also interesting that I didn't know before is that there's actually some varieties of strawberry tree that are supposed to be much more productive.
That's true. And I heard it's quite an art to graft those productive ones.
Huh.
It's not that's what I heard, but you know, I never tried it myself. I will try it for sure. And this is this the Lebanese cedar or so?
Exactly, that's a Lebanese cedar.
A Lebanese cedar.
So just for everybody watching this, maybe we can make a small rundown of all the trees that are in here in these rows.
Yes, that would be.
First we have here the nice example of an apricot tree.
Yes.
This one has grown really a lot. And then there's another one at 5 meters away.
Yes.
And then on the northern side, we have those fast-growing trees. And then halfway in between, the mulberry, halfway between the 2 fruit trees. And then there's here just a big mix of forestry trees. We have the Celtis australis,
Yeah.
black poplar, wild olive, butterfly bush, strawberry tree, cypress tree, cedar, wild olive, ash, poplar, strawberry tree again, the mulberry. We also have Mediterranean buckthorn, even though I don't see it just here right now. Terebinth pistachio.
Oh yeah. And
This is the buckthorn, yes.
Yeah.
Oak, nettle tree,
It's,
and there's actually a lot more in some places as well.
and the kale.
That one is not looking so productive anymore at this
no.
moment. But this has been one of the important plants for me, the cabbages.
The cabbages, yeah.
They do really good.
Yeah. The cabbages are the ones I love the most in the lines as a veggie. And what I love as well is really chard.
Mm.
Chard. Did you have chard in there, in here?
In here, no. But I do see that it is potentially giving really amazing benefits. Best. Gonna try to see just how much bigger he is.
Well, look at that. Well, sometimes size matters. So beautiful. With the cypress, you have also some, they are a little more tiny than the others.
Yeah.
You know what surprises me is that your ashes are quite modest, because I don't know why, but in my systems, the ashes, they are quite like...
After 1 year. This is in soils with a higher water retention capacity, I believe.
Probably.
Because here for me the problem is that, especially in summer, the soil gets really, really hot, and since it's mostly sand, it's not pure sand, but it's having more than 50% sand. And then, you know, I have like 20-30 centimeters of sand, and then it's just weathered granite. And the granite is like 0 water retention capacity. And so it's...
And you are irrigating every
day.
Every day?
Yeah.
Okay.
And still, I mean, imagine I irrigate and after 2 or 3 hours it's dry again.
Oh gosh. I irrigate every 10 days.
Yeah.
But how long are you irrigating? Like
1 hour.
1 hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course. I mean, look, that's the interesting thing. You need really always to adapt to exactly your environment.
Exactly.
There is not the recipe.
Exactly.
That's really beautiful.
And maybe for you also, since you're closer to the coast, you have more humidity in the night, or...
We have quite some humidity in the night.
Yeah.
That's really... It begins perhaps in July, August, not so much, but before and after we have quite some accumulation of humidity in the night. It's amazing.
So we can see now here the whole system from below, the lower part.
This line we did with the headlights. When
working at night.
Yeah, we couldn't stop in a way. We were in a frenzy.
Some of you, including you, couldn't wait to start in the morning, so you're also starting in the morning with the headlights.
For sure.
So 50,000 trees in 5 days.
Yeah, it's amazing. Those people who were here, they were so full of passion. They were really couldn't wait to go on planting. It makes me really, look again, goosebumps. It's so beautiful. And the outcome is so satisfying.
No, you also really feel it in the plants that they were planted with so much love. I mean, look at this.
Yes.
Here already again with the pruned.
And this is the beautiful thing. There were so many, and you have the feeling everybody was working for this beautiful growth, and was contributing. And for me, this is really such a beautiful succession of what we did and what we can see now. It's amazing. You have for sure also footage from how it looked like before, right?
I have footage of us planting.
Ah, right.
And also from before, of course.
From before. How many hectares in total you?
This field or the whole?
The whole. This was 1 hectare, right?
It's about 1 hectare, but in total I have about 3 hectares of agroforest like this now.
Crazy, crazy beautiful.
Well, with the estimated 150,000 trees in total, but I'm already starting in some of the older systems to remove trees now. Quite a lot.
Like what?
Eucalyptus, poplars.
Yeah, you removed them completely. What are you doing? You're just coppicing them, or?
I just cut them on the ground.
Yeah.
And if they come back, I do it again.
Yeah, exactly. You coppice until they're shaded out, right?
I mean, most of them, they don't come back because through natural succession and the shade and everything, they just don't sprout anymore.
No, no, they have no function anymore, right?
Yeah. But as I believe still it's a really important thing for me to do, since otherwise, I mean, my objective here is to produce fruits. Yeah, and if you look at some of the agroforests that I already have that are older, it's just too dense. Well, look here, this part. This is maybe the tallest trees.
This is really amazing. And
this little jungle here.
It's so amazing. Ah, and this brassica, is this a wild brassica? Yeah. Yes. It just came random.
Yes, I mean, here you can see the work of the wild pigs. This was here part of the vegetable row.
All right.
Look, some really big beetroots there.
Ah, right, yeah.
But look here, the eucalypt is already...
This one.
Wow, look at the stem.
This is amazing.
So this is, I believe this video and this whole project here serves to show that you don't need to be in Brazil to do agroforestry.
No, for sure not. For sure not. My God.
It also works in a poor soil and Mediterranean climate.
This is amazing.
And you do get fast growth.
This is amazing.
Ah, look, the almond tree there is also really grown fast.
Wow. Wow, here you have a lot of loquat.
Yeah.
And did you do them all by seeds?
All of them.
That's
wow, there's a lot of olives on this tree this year. Look at this.
Wow. That's something.
They do have quite some fruit fly though, I believe. Or is that not fruit fly? These little dots.
I couldn't say. I don't know.
But they're looking really abundant.
Yeah. This is anyhow, it's for oil, no?
This is the local variety, Galega.
Ah, Galega.
And you can use it either for oil or for conserves. Last year I picked the olives from this tree and the 2 other ones that are in here that were already old when I started. And I made conserves from it, and they are really nice.
Wow, cool. It's amazing.
I believe that's it for our little tour here today.
Well, thank you so much. For me, it was a big pleasure. Thank you. It's so beautiful.
Likewise.
So beautiful. I mean, to see also the development of everything, it's just amazing.
Do you have any of these oak trees?
I have some.
I'm really happy with them.
I love them as well. Yeah, I have some. Not so many, but I have some. What I want to also try this year is in this dry water or non-irrigated system, bring in holm oaks. Holm oaks and acacias and tamaricks and rhamnus. I try, I'll let you know perhaps, but I mean, when it grows at my place, it doesn't grow at your place necessarily.
Yeah.
You did also propagate this, it's a sage, I think, right?
Ananas arbaidoso.
Yeah.
That's how they call in Portuguese.
Yeah.
Well, so...
That's great.
It's been a pleasure, this nice walk with you. to film your reactions to everything.
Exactly. I hope it was not too exaggerated.
No.
I didn't play Hamlet.